First, let yourself arrive. Feel the simple rhythm of your breathing, soft and unhurried. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold very gently for a count of 2. 1, 2. Now exhale as if you're sighing into a pillow for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, breathe in a calm, cool tide of air. Hold and release, like a small wave returning to the open sea. With each breath, imagine your shoulders loosening, your jaw unhooking, your hands resting heavier, your thoughts settling like sand on the quiet ocean floor. There is nothing to do and nowhere to go. Only this moment, only this breath, only this gentle beginning. When you open your inner eyes, you find yourself standing on a wooden pier at night, the kind that creaks softly but never startles. Lanterns hang from hooks like warm moons, their light spilling golden on the boards in rounded puddles. A mild sea breeze moves around you, cool and kind, carrying the faint salt-sweet smell of kelp and driftwood and the memory of distant rain. To your left, low houses line the harbor, whitewashed walls, trimming of blue, shutters folded back like calm wings. Behind them, pine trees keep a drowsy watch, dark silhouettes stitched against the starry sky. The ocean is gentle this evening, stirred by slow, rounded ripples that tap against the pier in a lazy, contented pattern. Far above, a large, friendly moon floats, its reflection stretched in silver bands across the water. Every few moments, the surface blinks with small sparks, phosphorescence breathing, and then returns to a smooth glow. You breathe with it. The tide lifts a little, the tide settles a little. The world hums quietly, and you hum with it, the way a seashell holds a song. At the end of the pier waits your boat, a small elegant vessel named Lullaby, painted in soft pearl, with a stripe of sea blue along her side. A woven rope welcomes your hand, not scratchy, but pleasantly textured, like a familiar sweater. The captain, a kind figure, wrapped in a dark coat and a scarf that smells faintly of vanilla and cedar, greets you with a smile that's more of a lantern than a mouth warm and steady, guiding without a word. All is calm, the captain murmurs, and you feel that it is true. There is no rush to depart. The night itself is the voyage. You step aboard. The deck is smooth beneath your feet and carries the faint warmth of the day that has just ended. A wool blanket waits on a cushioned bench, already folded back for you in an inviting curve. When you sit, it drapes over your legs with the weight of a comforting promise. The bench faces the open water, so your view is nothing but starlight, moonlit lanes, and the horizon, which looks like the softest pencil line drawn by a patient hand. The captain moves without hurry, loosening the ropes with small clicks and easy gestures. The harbor gives a last little shiver as the Lullaby drifts free. The sound is delicate, the ruffle of a flag, the brush of water against wood, a low creak that is as much a lullaby as the boat's name. With each sound, your body seems to learn a new way to relax. Your shoulders drop another kindness, your breathing finds another layer of slow, and then you are moving. The Lullaby slips into the open part of the harbor where the water is smooth as satin. You notice how the lantern light on deck softens as you leave the pier behind, replaced by the wider, calmer light of the moon. The stars feel closer now, almost companionable, like a scatter of quiet friends keeping you company. You can see familiar constellations listening to the night, and unfamiliar ones that look like maps to places you have already visited in dreams. A little bell chimes somewhere on shore, one note, clear and gentle, and the sound travels out over the water like a silver line. It reminds you of everything that can be both strong and soft at the same time. The captain sets a slow course, and the small sail fills with the gentlest breath of wind, as if the night itself is exhaling. The lullaby glides forward, not fast, not slow. The sea carries its scents to you in friendly layers, a cool mineral freshness, a sweet suggestion of seaweed, and a distant hint of lemon from some unseen kitchen on the shore. Somewhere, a baker must be closing up for the night. You almost taste a sugar-dusted pastry in the air. The idea of it cozy and satisfying. You tuck the blanket a little closer. The fabric whispers against itself, a hush within a hush. Then, from the deeper water beyond the harbor wall, you hear a sound that is music and conversation and moonlight braided together, a whale's exhale. It's not loud, it is broad and patient, a soft plume out of the darkness. Your breath mirrors it, without effort, long and even, and the space behind your ribs feels wide and clear. Another exhale follows, then another, as if the sea is turning pages in a book, each page offering another chapter of calm. The captain nods toward the open sea. They are close, the voice says, velvety with certainty. They like this moon. You look ahead and see a sweep of water brighten, a glowing arc beneath the surface, as if someone has drawn a luminous smile on the ocean. The glow moves slowly, steadily, and you know with a comfortable knowing that the gentle whales are traveling nearby, drawn to the same stillness that draws you. The lullaby glides beyond the harbor mouth, where the water opens into a grand, quiet room. Here, the stars are somehow multiplied. Their reflections deepen into the water, so that you are sailing through a sky above and a sky below, all of it calm. The wind is a soft hand moving through your hair. Your thoughts, usually bustling and busy, now stroll instead of hurry. They walk the deck, lean on the rail, gaze out into the night, and find they have nothing urgent to say. A small companion appears at the edge of your vision, a silver seabird with bright eyes, perched on the rail as if it has been waiting for you. It tilts its head, polite and unafraid, the feathers at its throat puffing slightly in the soft wind. Hello, you think, and somehow the bird hears. It makes a quiet sound that is not quite a chirp, not quite a whistle, but something that feels like a nod translated into music. It settles near you, and its calm becomes another layer of your own. The sea changes texture as you move deeper into the open night, still gentle, but more alive, more breathing. A wide back rises just beyond the boat, a smooth, shining hill of life that carries a stripe of moonlight like a sash. The whale exhales, and a small cloud of mist catches the starlight. The sound is a soft fountain, a slow hello. This close, you can sense the whale's presence as a field of calm, like finding yourself at the center of a very large, very friendly heart. When the whale submerges, the water glows faintly around it. The phosphorescence swirls into swan shapes and handfuls of stars, into spirals that drift and fade like shared breaths. Another back rises farther off, then another, an unhurried family, traveling as if the sea were a familiar hallway in a home built of night. You follow without chasing. You are with them without asking. The captain eases the sail, and the lullaby keeps pace, an old friend walking beside old friends. From time to time, the whales sing. The notes come from deep places, rising in long curves and gentle ladders, then settling again into silence as rich as velvet. You can feel the music on your skin and in your bones, like a soft hum that reshapes your posture into ease. Each note unties a small knot within you, one after another, until even the hidden tightnesses you hardly knew existed are simply not there anymore. You rest your head against the cushion and find that your neck believes in pillows again. The captain brews something simple and kind in a little kettle, perhaps chamomile with honey, perhaps a tea made from lemon balm and a breath of vanilla. The steam carries the scent to you, friendly and round. You sip slowly, and the warmth travels through you like a candle being carried from room to room, lighting each space without hurry. Your hands feel pleasantly warm around the cup. The world outside the rim of the cup is moon and sea and star. The world inside is soft and sweet and slow. A playful breeze brings a soft creak from the mast, and you notice how every sound belongs. Even your own breathing belongs an instrument added to a band that has always been waiting for your part. You think of how a harbor welcomes a boat without asking questions, and how the night welcomes your thoughts without commentary. You picture placing any remaining worries in a little wicker basket and setting it beside the captain's lantern. The basket is there, patiently holding what you do not need until morning. And perhaps when morning comes, it will all have turned to sea glass smoothed by the night, softened by the lullaby of water. The whales draw a little closer, and one surfaces so near that you can see a scattering of pale scars along its side, maps of places it has been, stories told in quiet lines. The whale lingers, rolls just enough to show one dark, kind eye, and in that glance is the simplest assurance: you are safe, you are part of this calm. The whale exhales again, a deep and velvety sigh that the night holds like a secret too gentle to keep. You imagine placing your palm on that smooth expanse, feeling the warmth beneath the cool water, feeling the friendliness of something that has known long roads and chosen the slowest ones. Time becomes round, like the moon, like the rings in a cup of tea, like ripples widening after a pebble is tossed. You do not measure it, you rest inside it. The boat continues forward, the whales continue alongside, and the night continues to be what it is, a soft room with open walls and starry windows. The captain hums a tune without words. The seabird closes its eyes, trusting the rail. You settle deeper under the blanket, feeling the gentle weight quiet your thoughts the way a hand quiets tall grass. Ahead, a faint band of shimmering light begins to gather on the water, as if someone has brushed the sea with a moon-silver paintbrush. The captain looks there and smiles, and you understand that this is where you are going next, a lane of light that the whales and the lullaby both know by heart. The lane waits with patience, and your body responds by loosening further, like a tide relaxing at last into its natural shore. For now, simply breathe and listen. Oar, soft water; sail, soft wind; whale, soft song. The night holds all of it, and it holds you. Your eyes grow heavier, not to close the world out, but to hold it more gently. You are ready to drift deeper on this peaceful voyage, where each moment is a quiet step, and each step is a kindness to your resting heart. The lullaby glides forward, as though the water itself has chosen to carry you, not with force, but with tender devotion. You rest back into the cushioned bench, the blanket wrapped warmly around your shoulders, and allow yourself to sink into the rhythm of the boat. Each creak of timber is a lull, each sigh of the sail, a whispered promise that you are exactly where you need to be. The shimmering path ahead stretches like a soft invitation painted on the surface of the sea. Moonlight drapes itself over the water, forming a road of liquid silver. The whales know this path. They follow it without question, their great bodies moving with a certainty that feels older than time itself. You can sense the comfort they take in its glow, as if it is not merely a reflection, but a guiding trail meant for wanderers of the night. The captain adjusts the tiller gently, careful not to disturb the stillness that has gathered. "The moon gives us a road," the captain murmurs in a voice low and smooth. "It will carry us towards softer horizons." The words echo through you, not as instruction, but as reassurance, like the way a friend's hand might brush yours when you least expect it. Your gaze falls again to the whales. One rises close to the boat, its skin a deep blue-gray, marbled with pale streaks that shimmer under the moonlight. The spray from its exhale drifts across the air, cool and delicate, like the mist of a hidden waterfall. You breathe it in without effort, and your lungs feel cleaner, your body lighter, as though the air itself has been washed by the sea. As you lean over the rail, you notice glowing trails beneath the surface. Bioluminescent plankton swirl with each movement of the whales, leaving ribbons of light behind them. It's as if they are drawing constellations beneath the waves' patterns that mirror the stars above. The reflection of Orion seems to dissolve into the glowing arcs of the whales' paths, sky and sea blending seamlessly. For a moment, you feel as though you are adrift between two galaxies, guided by companions who know the way. The seabird remains perched beside you, its head tucked under one wing now, content in its quiet rest. You feel a kinship with it, sharing the gentle rocking of the boat, the music of the whales, the unhurried company of the sea. The bird seems to remind you, even in flight, even in stillness, the world holds you safely. The captain pours more tea, this time with a hint of lavender added to the steam. The aroma drifts toward you, soothing your senses with its floral softness. You cup your hands around the warm vessel, sip slowly, and feel the liquid travel through you, pooling comfort into every corner of your body. You imagine the warmth spreading to your fingertips and toes, as though your very skin has learned how to glow from within. The whales begin to sing again, and their voices deepen the night. Long, rolling notes rise from the deep and linger in the air, harmonizing with the sigh of the ocean and the whisper of the wind. The song is not hurried. It stretches, curls, and folds back on itself like a ribbon of silk. Each note seems to reach into your chest and smooth something tender, a quiet balm for anything that might have weighed you down. One whale rolls onto its side near the boat, its massive fin extending upward as though to wave at the moon. Water cascades from the fin in silver droplets, scattering into the sea like tiny stars. You watch, entranced, as those droplets become small sparks of light in the bioluminescence, glowing and fading, like the breath of the night itself. The air grows cooler as the boat travels deeper into the open sea, yet the blanket around you holds its warmth, cocooning you in safety. You tuck your knees a little closer beneath it, settling in as though preparing for a story you already know will be long and gentle. The rhythm of the lullaby's glide matches your breathing now, each inhale and exhale syncing with the sway of the boat. Somewhere in the distance, another whale joins the group. You hear it before you see it, the deep rumble of its call, like a greeting carried on the ocean's currents. Then, a shadow rises, vast and graceful, before breaking the surface with a smooth arc. The water it sheds sparkles in the moonlight, raining softly back into the sea. The whales draw nearer to one another, as if welcoming a friend into their moonlit gathering. The captain leans back, resting hands lightly on the tiller. "They have traveled far," the captain says softly, eyes reflecting the same light as the sea. "But tonight they will linger with us." There is no urgency in the words, only the kind of ease that comes from knowing the night stretches endlessly ahead. You watch the horizon, where the moonlight thickens into a broader band of silver, widening like an open gate. The stars there seem to shimmer more brightly, as though anticipating your arrival. The whales lead the way, their glowing trails forming an almost ceremonial procession. You feel yourself drifting deeper into stillness. Thoughts that once pressed at the edges of your mind now loosen and float away, like small leaves carried by a stream. What remains is only the gentle hum of the whales, the sigh of the sea, and the soft, endless promise of the voyage. The seabird shifts slightly, as if reminding you that it too is part of this journey. Its feathers catch the light, and you imagine that perhaps it is made of starlight itself, disguised in the shape of a bird, content to travel beside you for a while. The captain lights a small lantern on the deck, its glow steady but low, just enough to warm the wooden boards with a faint golden hue. The lantern flickers with the boat's motion, like a heartbeat against the deep silver of the moonlit sea. You realize then that you are surrounded entirely by layers of light, moonlight, lantern light, starlight, and the living glow of the sea. Each light is gentle, none competing, all existing together in perfect harmony. The lullaby sails further into the moonlit path, the whales keeping pace, their songs weaving the night into something softer than silence. You draw the blanket tighter and close your eyes for a moment, not to shut the world out, but to let it settle deeper into you. You feel the boat's gentle rise and fall, the coolness of the air, the warmth of the tea still lingering in your chest. The night holds you completely, and you hold nothing back. The silver path seems endless, a dream you are invited to live within, one moment flowing into the next without need for destination. The voyage has only just begun, and already your heart has slowed to its most peaceful rhythm. The moonlit path stretches ever onward, unbroken and unhurried, as though the sea itself has unrolled a carpet of silver just for you. The lullaby glides across it with patient grace, rocking gently as if to keep time with the steady rhythm of your breath. Around you, the whales swim in their quiet procession, rising and falling with unspoken harmony, their glowing trails painting constellations beneath the surface. You lean back against the cushion, the blankets snug around your shoulders, and notice the captain lighting more lanterns along the rail. Each lantern is modest, its flame small but steady, yet together they form a quiet constellation around the boat. Their light flickers golden across the deck, reflecting on the water in broken halos. The glow feels less like fire and more like companionship, a reminder that light does not need to be bright to be kind. As the lullaby drifts deeper into the night, the sky above grows even clearer. Stars bloom in every corner, their patterns sharp and crisp against the velvet darkness. The longer you gaze, the more stars you notice, until it seems the sky has no empty spaces at all. The constellations shift gently as the boat moves, and you feel as though you are being carried through the heavens themselves. As much as across the sea, the captain speaks softly, as though not to disturb the whales. Every lantern has its twin in the sky. Tonight, the sea and sky are mirrors. You glance at the water, and indeed, the lanterns reflected there look like bright stars scattered on the surface, trembling with each ripple. Above, the true stars shine down, answering. You feel balanced between the two realms, as if you have been placed at the center of some quiet, infinite symmetry. The whales exhale again, their mist catching the moonlight like soft silver veils. The sound is steady, full and soothing, a reminder that even the largest of beings breathe slowly, without rush. Their calls roll through the night in deep, melodic currents, and you feel the vibrations hum within your bones, loosening tension you didn't even know you were holding. The seabird shifts on the railing, its head lifting briefly from its tucked wing. It stretches one feathered leg, then settles again with a soft rustle. Its small, simple movements are calming in their own way, reminding you how even the smallest gestures can be part of the larger stillness. The lanterns sway slightly with the boat, casting arcs of light across the deck. You trace their shapes with your eyes, following them as they dance and overlap, until your eyelids grow heavy. You close them for a moment, and the afterglow of the lanterns lingers, mingling with the stars behind your lids. You feel as though you are floating in both darkness and light at once, wrapped in a fabric woven of both. When you open your eyes again, the captain has placed a soft cushion behind your back. The kindness of the gesture settles into you as deeply as the cushion itself, a reminder that here everything is arranged for comfort. There is no effort required, no decisions to make. You need only to be carried. The whales begin to play more visibly now. One rolls close to the surface, turning slowly onto its back. You see its vast fins slice the air, trailing droplets that sparkle like falling gems. Another rises farther away and exhales with a fountain of mist, illuminated as though the whale has released a handful of starlight into the night. The bioluminescent plankton glow brighter in their wake, painting arcs of blue-green light that swirl and fade into the water's depth. The captain hums quietly, a low melody that blends with the whale's songs. It is wordless, but it carries the shape of a lullaby, slow and repetitive, designed to soothe rather than to impress. The sound seeps into you, weaving itself around your thoughts until they soften and lose their edges. What remains is simply presence, the boat, the sea, the song, and your calm body resting within it all. The tea has left a lingering sweetness on your tongue, and the night air tastes faintly of salt and cedar. You breathe it in deeply, and the coolness fills you with freshness, as though every inhale washes you gently, leaving you clearer, calmer, and more open to the night. The moonlight shifts slightly as the night deepens, growing softer, more diffused. Its silver path still stretches ahead, but now it feels closer, more enveloping, as though you are not merely sailing across it but within it. The whales continue their gentle escort, their bodies surfacing in slow rhythms, always near, always steady. You know without needing to ask that they will remain with you as long as you need them. The captain leans toward you, voice a murmur just above the sound of the waves. The lanterns will guide us until the stars take over. Rest if you wish. The voyage carries itself, and you know it is true. Your eyes drift closed again, and you imagine the lanterns as tiny moons circling the boat, each one carrying a wish for your rest. The wishes glow golden in the darkness, safe and unbroken, gently rocking with the sea. You feel them watching over you as surely as the stars do. The lullaby continues forward, the whales singing, the sea breathing, the lanterns glowing, and you wrapped, held, carried into deeper calm. The night opens even wider now, the sea stretching into an endless expanse of silver and ink. The lullaby sails onward without hurry, guided by the lanterns and the soft hand of the moon. Around you, the air feels cool, but never biting, a gentle breath that carries with it the salt of the ocean and the faint sweetness of lavender from your cup earlier. Each inhale is like a ribbon of calm threading through your chest, and each exhale releases you deeper into ease. The whales remain near, their presence steady and reassuring. You hear them before you see them, deep, resonant calls that echo across the water, rising and falling like slow tides of music. Their voices weave into the air, a choir of the sea, each note vibrating through the boat, through the water, and through you. It is not just sound, it is feeling soft waves of harmony that cradle you, unspoken lullabies that seem to say, you are safe, you belong, you may rest. One whale surfaces close to the lullaby, rolling gracefully so that its enormous side glimmers beneath the moonlight. A trail of glowing plankton follows, illuminating the shape like a constellation alive beneath the waves. You lean over the rail, watching as the whale turns back into the depths, leaving behind a spiral of soft blue light that slowly unfurls and fades, like a dream disappearing into memory. The captain stands nearby, their silhouette steady against the lantern glow. They hum again, a low tune that almost seems to blend with the whale's song. The sound carries no words, but you feel meaning in it all the same. It is the sound of patience, of night stretching endless, of calm that does not need explanation. Above, the stars brighten as the moon drifts higher. Their reflections shimmer across the surface of the sea until you can no longer tell where the sky ends and the water begins. It feels as though you are floating in the very middle of the universe, adrift between two galaxies, one above, one below. You sense yourself dissolving gently into that space. No separation, no edges, just the steady rocking of the lullaby and the breathing of the whales. The seabird opens its eyes and gives a soft trill, as if joining the chorus. Its voice is small but not lost, a delicate note threading through the vastness. It turns its head toward you, feathers ruffling in the night breeze, and you feel as though it is acknowledging your place here, welcoming you as a fellow traveler. Then it tucks itself back beneath its wing, content and trusting. The captain pours another cup of tea, the steam rising in a slow spiral. This time it smells faintly of chamomile and honey, and when you sip, the flavor spreads like golden warmth through your chest. The taste lingers, soft and sweet, and you find yourself breathing more deeply, your shoulders lowering with every exhale. The tea seems less like a drink and more like part of the night itself, gentle, soothing, timeless. Ahead, the whales gather more closely, their glowing trails twining together. For a moment, you imagine they are drawing shapes in the water just for you. A circle, perfectly round, pulses with bioluminescent light, enclosing the lullaby in a glowing embrace. It feels like an offering of safety, a reminder that the sea itself is holding you tonight. The captain whispers, They like to share their light. The words are simple, yet they stay with you, echoing in the quiet of your mind. You gaze at the glowing circle, and your heart feels lighter, as though something heavy has been set down. The whales breach farther out, their vast bodies rising in arcs that scatter rainbows of mist into the moonlight. The droplets hang in the air for long moments, glistening like scattered gems before falling back into the water. Each splash is soft, muffled, as though the ocean itself is cushioning every sound to keep the night restful. The stars above seem to pulse brighter in response. You notice how they twinkle in rhythm with the whale's exhalations, as though the sky is listening to the sea. For the first time, you realize the entire night is singing together, the lanterns flickering, the whales calling, the stars shimmering, the sea sighing, all of it forming one continuous lullaby. Wrapped in your blanket, you close your eyes again, letting the lullaby carry you. You feel the gentle sway of the boat beneath you, the warmth of the tea still glowing within, the cool night air brushing across your face. Every sound and sensation is soft, layered, unhurried. The world outside continues in its quiet dance, and you drift deeper into its rhythm. The lullaby glides along the moonlit path, the whales circling and singing, the stars endless and close. You are at the very heart of calm, carried forward into the next chapter of your voyage, safe and untroubled beneath the stars. The lullaby sails as though time has loosened its grip, each moment stretching comfortably like a cat curling into its bed. The moonlight ahead still paints its silver road, and your boat glides across it as if floating through a dream. The whales remain close, their shapes rising and falling with such ease that you begin to feel your own body moving in rhythm with theirs, breathing when they breathe, sighing when they sigh. You lean against the railing, the blanket warm against your skin, and notice how the sea has grown even smoother. It lies still and shining like a polished mirror, so that every star in the sky above has found a twin in the water below. Looking out, you feel as if you are suspended in an endless sphere of stars. There is no horizon now, only infinity, cradling you in a cosmic embrace. The captain moves quietly, adjusting the sail with the lightest of touches, careful not to disturb the stillness. The sea listens tonight, the captain murmurs, and you believe it. You can feel the silence itself breathing, not empty but full of gentle presence. From beneath the glassy surface, the glow of plankton stirs again, swirling in delicate shapes as the whales drift below. Their luminous trails overlap, spiraling upward like galaxies spun from light. The water itself becomes a canvas of shifting blue and silver, every curve a brushstroke drawn by the whale's steady grace. One of the whales surfaces, its broad back gleaming like a mountain made of liquid night. You see the scars again, maps of journeys long past, and this time you feel them as stories, old but softened, carried with dignity. When the whale exhales, a fountain of mist catches the lantern light, shimmering briefly before falling back in a hush. You breathe with it, your own exhale matching its rhythm, as though the two of you share the same calm heartbeat. The seabird stirs once more, stretching its wings wide before settling them neatly against its body. Its feathers gleam in the lantern light, silvery and fine. For a moment it looks at you, eyes bright and knowing, before lowering its head again. It is enough, its presence, is simple companionship, the kind you do not need to explain. The captain sets a small tray beside you, slices of soft bread, brushed with honey and lavender. The sweetness wafts upward, gentle and comforting. You take a piece, and the taste is light, yet grounding, as though each bite tethers you more securely to this present moment, while still allowing you to drift peacefully in the dreamlike night. The whales begin to sing again, and their voices spread across the water in long, resonant waves. Each call rises like a cathedral bell, rung slowly, the sound deep enough to settle into the marrow of your bones. The vibrations soothe you, shaking loose every remnant of restlessness. They remind you of something vast, timeless, and endlessly kind, an ocean without storms, a sky without hurry. The captain listens, eyes soft, and hums along in a quiet harmony. Their voice is not strong or loud, but warm, a steady thread woven into the whale's vast chorus. It blends so perfectly that you cannot tell where the human voice ends and the sea song begins. The effect is mesmerizing, like listening to a lullaby sung by the world itself. The sea's surface ripples slightly as the whales move in closer. You can see the faint shimmer of their eyes catching the lantern glow, watching you with a calm curiosity. There is no fear, no barrier, only recognition, as if they have known you for a very long time, and tonight they have chosen to remind you. The path of moonlight grows wider, the silver expanding into a broad expanse that seems to invite both boat and whales deeper into its embrace. It feels less like a road and more like a great, open meadow, vast and illuminated, waiting for you to wander gently across it. You close your eyes for a while, letting the sounds and sensations carry you. You feel the rocking of the lullaby, the warmth of the blanket, the sweetness lingering on your tongue, the whales' deep voices filling the night. Time drifts away, and you float within the calm. When you open your eyes again, you see that the lanterns reflect not just on the water, but also on the gentle mist rising from the sea. The mist curls and folds like soft fabric, catching the golden glow in patches that shimmer and vanish. It feels magical, as though the air itself has become another ocean, one of light and warmth. The captain notices your gaze and whispers, "The sea gives back what we offer." Tonight, it offers rest, and you know it is true because you feel the offering settling deep within you, warmth, safety, and a calm so wide it feels like home. The lullaby glides forward, the whales circling in slow arcs, the stars doubled in sky and sea, wrapped in silver light, golden lanterns, and voices as deep as the ocean's heart. You allow yourself to drift further inward, carried by the mirror of the sea, into a place of stillness beyond measure. The night folds around you like a great, gentle blanket, seamless and infinite. The lullaby sails quietly onward, carried more by the stillness than by the breeze. You sit cocooned in your blanket, your body heavy with comfort, your mind unspooling into softness. Around you, a light mist has risen from the sea, weaving itself into drifting veils that curl and shimmer in the lantern glow. The mist carries with it a faint, cool dampness, brushing lightly across your cheeks like the touch of a kindly hand. It moves without hurry, folding and unfolding, hiding parts of the sea and then revealing them again, as though the night is showing you its secrets one layer at a time. The whales remain near, their vast shapes half hidden by the fog. You hear their breathing before you see them, the low, patient exhale, followed by the hush of water falling back. Each sound seems louder in the mist, yet never harsh. It is the kind of sound that fills the air without disturbing it, a sound that feels like it belongs inside your own chest. The captain lights another lantern, setting it near the bow. Its glow shines through the mist in a soft, golden halo, turning the air into something dreamlike. The fog diffuses the light until it feels as though the boat itself is surrounded by a sphere of warmth, drifting gently through a world made of silver and pearl. "The mist is a friend," the captain says quietly, voice as steady as the tide. "It makes the night slower, softer." You nod because you can feel it. Every sound is cushioned, every movement rounded, every thought hushed into kindness. Even your own breathing sounds gentler, as though the mist itself is listening and soothing each exhale. The seabird stirs on the railing, its feathers dampened by the dew. It shakes once, scattering droplets that sparkle like stars before vanishing into the fog. Then it tucks itself back beneath its wing, content, trusting the mist to guard its rest. The whales begin to hum again, their low calls vibrating through the water and into the boat. The mist amplifies the resonance, wrapping the sound around you until it feels as though you are resting inside the whales' very voices. It is a cradle of sound, vast and deep, and yet somehow intimate, like being sung to by the ocean itself. You sip the tea. The captain offers this one fragrant, with rose petals and a hint of cardamom. The warmth glides into you slowly, unfurling through your chest and stomach, until your whole body feels as though it too is glowing in the mist. The flavor is soft and slightly sweet, lingering like a memory of spring hidden inside the night. As the lullaby sails deeper, the fog thickens, and soon you cannot see the horizon at all. There is only the circle of lantern light, the soft rocking of the boat, and the sound of whales breathing nearby. It feels as though the rest of the world has faded away, leaving only this small, floating sanctuary. The mist becomes a cocoon, a safe and endless chamber where time cannot reach you. The captain sits nearby, hands resting easily on the tiller, eyes calm. They do not steer much now. The boat seems to know its way, moving along the moonlit current without effort. You watch as the captain closes their eyes briefly, humming again, trusting the sea completely. It reassures you. This trust, this stillness shared by someone who has sailed these waters so many times before. From within the mist, one whale rises very close, its exhale sending a fountain of vapor straight into the fog. The sound is softer here, muffled, almost like a sigh. You see only the faint curve of its back, glowing faintly with bioluminescence, before it disappears again, as though it has merged with the mist itself. The air feels cool and damp against your skin, but your blanket holds its warmth steady. You snuggle deeper, pulling it around your shoulders, and let the mist gather against the edges of your awareness. It feels like a whisper, a hushed voice, telling you there is nothing to fear, nothing to hold, nothing to do. You close your eyes, and for a moment, the sounds become clearer, the boat creaking softly, the sail brushing against the air, the whales humming in slow patterns, the mist dripping faintly from the edges of the canvas overhead. Every sound is rounded, softened, blurred by fog into something tender. It feels like being inside a dream, where even the edges of reality dissolve into comfort. When you open your eyes again, the lantern light has grown gentler, shimmering in tiny halos through the mist. The sea below glows faintly as well, the plankton stirred into drifting clouds of blue-green light by the whale's slow movements. You realize you are adrift in layers of glow golden lanterns silver moonlight, and the soft blue of the living sea. Each layer overlaps the other, forming a quiet harmony of colors that moves with the rhythm of the water. The captain whispers, "The mist will lift when it's ready. Until then, let it be our blanket." And you do. You let the mist fold around you, wrapping your thoughts, your body, your heart in its patient embrace. The lullaby drifts deeper, the whales singing gently, the mist whispering its soft secrets, and you warm, safe, and carried float within a world that feels endless and kind. The mist begins to thin as the night deepens, peeling back like a curtain to reveal more of the sea. What emerges is breathtaking. The water, calm and glassy, seems to hold its own light. Glimmers appear first as faint sparks beneath the surface, then swell into broad strokes of living blue. The plankton are awake tonight, dancing in luminous clouds. Each movement of the whales stirs the water into glowing spirals, trailing ribbons of turquoise that twist and unravel in the depths. It feels as though you are sailing across a sky turned upside down, with galaxies blooming not above, but beneath your feet. You lean over the railing, the blanket wrapped warmly around your shoulders, and watch as the lullaby cuts a soft path through the glowing sea. Every ripple of the boat leaves behind a streak of light, so that the vessel seems to be sketching its own constellation onto the water. The glow stretches far behind you, a trail of stars marking where you've been, proof that even the gentlest journeys leave traces of wonder. The whales move close again, their massive bodies outlined in liquid fire. You see the curve of a fin, edged in electric blue, slicing the surface with grace. Another rises farther out, its entire back shimmering as it breaks the water, leaving an explosion of glowing droplets that hang briefly in the night air before falling back in slow arcs. For a moment, it looks as if the sky and sea have exchanged places, the stars descending to the waves, the water glowing with its own constellations. The captain watches with quiet reverence, lantern light reflecting in their eyes. "The sea writes in light," they murmur. "It tells its story without words." You nod, because you can feel the truth of it. The glowing trails are more than beauty. They are reminders that even in the deepest dark, light is always stirring. The seabird ruffles its wings and lifts briefly from the railing, gliding in a short arc before settling again. As it dips close to the glowing sea, the tips of its wings stir tiny sparks, leaving behind their own faint trail of light. It feels like a secret gesture, a small note added to the sea's grand symphony. The captain offers you another cup of tea, this one flavored with mint and a hint of lemon balm. The steam curls upward, catching the lantern glow, and the scent alone refreshes you. When you sip, the cool sharpness of mint and the soft citrus blend soothe your throat, sending a ripple of brightness through you that mirrors the glowing waves outside. The whales begin to sing once more, their voices deep and resonant. Tonight their notes seem gentler, more playful, as though the glowing sea has lightened their spirits. Their calls rise in smooth arcs, then dip again, echoing across the water and through your chest. The sound is both vast and intimate, like being invited into a conversation that has been going on since the beginning of time. You notice smaller shapes, joining the glow schools of fish, darting just beneath the surface, their bodies lighting the water in quick, flashing lines. They move in perfect unison, turning together, scattering together, rejoining in effortless harmony. The whales glide through them without harm, the smaller lights parting respectfully, as though greeting old friends. The air feels fresher now, the mist lifting fully. The stars above gleam brighter, reflected perfectly in the glowing sea below. For a while, you cannot tell whether the boat is sailing through water or drifting across the Milky Way itself. You are suspended in a universe of light, your body safe and heavy, your thoughts soft and scattered like stardust. The captain hums a tune once again, this time higher, almost a whisper. The sound mingles with the whale's calls, waving into the night until it feels as though the whole world is singing in unison. Sea, sky, whale, bird, captain, and you. You add your own part without trying, each breath joining the chorus, slow and steady, another note in the great, quiet harmony. One whale surfaces so close you could almost reach out to touch it. Its glowing back rolls past, and for an instant you see your reflection in the water, illuminated beside it, two travelers sharing the same path, one small, one vast, both carried by the same calm sea. The whale exhales, and the mist drifts across your face, cool and sweet, like a blessing given in passing. The sea's glow spreads wider until it feels as though the entire ocean has become a single luminous body, pulsing in rhythm with the whale's breaths. You find yourself lulled deeper by the glow, your eyelids heavy, your body sinking into the warmth of the blanket, your mind softening like sand beneath the tide. The captain's voice comes softly, just above a whisper. This glow will guide us for a while. Let it ease you, and you do. You let the light seep into you, until you, too, are glowing quietly, carried by the sea's hidden fire, drifting ever deeper into calm. The lullaby drifts deeper into the glowing sea, carried by a current so smooth that it feels less like movement and more like being gently rocked in a cradle. You sink further into the cushion, the blanket tucked close, and let the rhythm seep into your body. Your breathing matches the motion. Inhale with the boat's rise, exhale with its fall, until you are part of the current yourself. The whales remain nearby, their movements slow and unhurried. Their glowing outlines sweep in arcs beneath the surface, tracing loops of blue-green light that drift and dissolve. Each arc feels like part of a song written in the water, a score that only the sea and the stars can read. From time to time, a whale exhales, and the mist floats across the night, like a sigh drawn in silver. The captain adjusts the sail slightly, though the current seems to do most of the work now. This stream will carry us until dawn, they say softly. It sings its own song. You listen, and you realize it's true. The water beneath the boat hums faintly, not quite a sound, but a vibration, a low thrum that blends with the whale's calls. Together, they form a deep lullaby that resonates in your bones, quieting every restless corner of you. The seabird lifts its head and calls once, a clear, small note that floats upward into the night. The stars seem to answer, flickering a little brighter, as though acknowledging its voice. Then the bird tucks its head back beneath its wing, trusting the current to do the watching. The air grows cooler as the boat glides forward. The captain offers another cup of tea, this time a blend of chamomile and apple blossom. The aroma is light and sweet, like an orchard in bloom, carried on the night breeze. You sip slowly, and the warmth spreads into you, chasing away the coolness, leaving only a sense of comfort that deepens with every swallow. Below, the bioluminescence grows brighter, as though stirred awake by the current itself. The lullaby leaves a glowing trail behind, two bright ribbons stretching far back into the distance, marking your path like gentle starlight laid down on the sea. It feels like the ocean is keeping a memory of your journey, carrying it softly in its glowing skin. The whales sing again, their voices long and curved, rolling through the night in waves of sound. Their calls ripple across the current, blending into it until you cannot tell where one ends and the other begins. Each note is vast but tender, a reminder that the sea holds room for everything, for whales, for stars, for a small boat drifting peacefully, and for you. You lean your head back and look at the sky. The stars seem lower now, closer, as if leaning down to see you better. Their reflections shimmer in the water, merging with the glowing trails of the whales. For a while, it feels as though the world has no above or below, only light surrounding you in every direction, infinite and kind. The captain hums again, keeping time with the current. The tune is slow and circular, without beginning or end. It feels like a song you might have known all along, tucked somewhere deep in memory, waiting only for this night to return to you. You find yourself humming too, without meaning to, your voice low and quiet, blending with the sea's own music. A whale surfaces close, rolling slightly to show its great fin. For a moment, it seems to wave, scattering droplets that glow before they fall back into the current. You smile without thinking, and the smile feels effortless, as though it has risen the same way the whale did naturally, without effort, drawn out by the simple beauty of the moment. The current carries you further into its heart, the water glowing brighter with each passing minute. You feel yourself loosening even more, as though each breath releases another thread of tension, another small knot within. The night holds you fully now, your body sinking deeper into its quiet song. The captain whispers, "This is the ocean's lullaby. It will keep singing until you rest." You close your eyes for a while, letting the hum of the current, the whales' voices, and the rocking of the boat blend together. The world becomes sound and glow and warmth, nothing more, nothing less. The lullaby continues forward, carried by the singing current, the whales beside you, the stars above you, the glow beneath you, and peace within you. The current carries you gently onward, and the night opens wider still, as though it has endless rooms waiting to be explored. The sea grows calm again, the surface smooth as polished glass, reflecting every star with such clarity that you feel as though you are gliding across the heavens themselves. You sit wrapped in your blanket, the warmth of the tea still lingering in your chest, and watch as the stars above and below begin to merge. Each ripple from the whales sends the reflections trembling, scattering the constellations into soft, glowing petals. The water blooms with these shifting shapes until it resembles a vast, floating garden. A garden not of flowers, but of stars. The captain notices your gaze and smiles quietly. The sea becomes a garden when the night is calm enough, they say. Their voice is soft, almost reverent, as though speaking too loudly might scatter the stars themselves. And indeed, it feels fragile, precious, as though the whole scene is a gift created just for you. The whales drift close again, their bodies glowing with bioluminescent trails. They move slowly, deliberately, weaving patterns beneath the boat. Spirals unfurl, circles overlap, arcs stretch into long ribbons of light. It is as if they are tending the star garden, planting constellations with each flick of their tails. A whale surfaces near the bow, exhaling in a plume that sparkles against the lantern glow. The mist drifts over you, cool and fresh, and you inhale it like a blessing. Your own breath slows in response, matching the whale's steady rhythm, your lungs filling with the same patience the sea has carried for ages. The seabird stirs once more, lifting its head and stretching its wings. For a moment, it flutters into the air, gliding just above the water. As it skims the surface, the tips of its wings brush the sea, stirring trails of glowing light. When it circles back and lands on the railing, the glow lingers in its wake, two luminous lines stretching like threads across the water. The bird tucks its head again, as if satisfied with the small addition it has made to the night's canvas. The captain pours another cup of tea, this one scented with jasmine and a hint of vanilla. The fragrance drifts toward you, delicate and soothing, like blossoms carried on a summer breeze. You sip, and the taste is floral, smooth, and lingering, like drinking the very essence of calm. The whales sing again, and their voices seem to rise out of the sea garden itself, weaving through the patterns of stars reflected on the water. The notes are long, drawn out, like threads stretched across the sky. They echo in your chest, vibrating softly, until you feel as though you are part of the song, one voice among many, in the choir of the night. You tilt your head back and gaze at the constellations above. Orion, Cassiopeia, the Great Bear, they all shine brighter, mirrored perfectly below. The line between sea and sky disappears entirely. You are floating at the center of a vast, starry dome, embraced by its infinite calm. For a while, you close your eyes, but the stars remain with you. Behind your lids, their afterglow lingers, painting slow, shimmering shapes. You drift in and out of thought, half dreaming, half awake, your body heavy and comfortable, your mind quiet and untroubled. The captain hums again, this time a tune so soft it is barely more than breath, yet it blends perfectly with the whales' deep voices, weaving human and ocean together. It feels like a conversation between worlds, each voice listening, answering, harmonizing. The whales draw closer, circling the boat as if to include you fully in their gathering. Their bodies glow brighter, the bioluminescence clinging to their skin until they look like constellations themselves, giant, living stars swimming through the sea. You watch as they rise and fall, painting the garden anew with every motion. The captain whispers, "Every star on the sea is alive tonight. Let them watch over you." And you do. You let the garden of stars hold you, your heart loosening further, your breath flowing more easily, your body sinking deeper into the calm. The lullaby glides on, the whales tending their starry garden, the seabird resting, the lanterns glowing, the stars endless. You drift, wrapped in their gentle company, a traveler carried not by time, but by light. The night has settled into its deepest quiet now, the kind of silence that is not empty but full of whispers, full of presence, full of calm. The lullaby continues her slow glide, and you feel as though the boat is no longer being pushed by wind or carried by current, but moved instead by the will of the night itself. The moon, high above, has grown softer in its glow. Its silver light stretches across the sea in long, shining ribbons, shimmering with each breath of the water. Around it, a pale halo forms, delicate and faint, as though the mist has risen once more to frame the moon in a gentle crown. The whales swim quietly now, their movements slower, deeper, more restful. You hear their exhalations, long sighs that roll across the surface before their shapes rise briefly in the moonlight, then slip back into the dark. Their glowing trails have dimmed, not gone, but softened, as if even the light beneath the waves is beginning to drowse. The captain notices your eyes on the sky. The moon is never alone, they murmur. It always gathers companions. You look, and indeed, you see faint stars clustered more tightly near the moon's glow. They are smaller, dimmer than the rest, yet together they form a kind of quiet court around the Silver Queen. The sea reflects them faithfully, and it feels as though two moons float above and below, each with its circle of stars. The seabird stirs, lifting its head. It gazes at the moon for a long moment, then gives a soft, low call, just one note, brief and pure. Then, as if satisfied, it tucks its head once more beneath its wing, returning to sleep. The sound lingers in the air, a reminder that even in silence, small voices can add their part. The captain brews another pot of tea, this one fragrant with lavender and sage. The steam curls upward in slow ribbons, merging with the mist and the lantern glow. When you sip, the flavor is earthy, calming, with just a hint of floral sweetness. It settles into you like the last embers of a fire, warming without urgency, soothing without demand. The whales begin to sing again, though their voices are softer now, almost like whispers. The deep notes rise and fall slowly, spaced far apart, leaving long stretches of silence between them. Each note feels like a pebble dropped into a still pond, sending ripples that reach you gently, carrying calm into the quiet spaces of your mind. You close your eyes for a moment, and in the dark behind your lids, you can see the moon's reflection shimmering, broken into fragments by the waves. It is not one light but many, scattered and gathered again, a reminder that wholeness is not about being unbroken, but about being complete in the way you are. When you open your eyes again, the lanterns flicker softly, their glow steady but faint. The mist gathers close to them, forming halos of gold that seem to float in the night air. You realize then that you are surrounded by companions too, not just the captain and the bird, not just the whales and the stars, but the lanterns, the mist, the moon, the current, all of them keeping you company. The captain leans back, their posture relaxed, one hand resting lightly on the tiller. They hum again, quieter than before, their tune more like a lullaby to themselves. You listen, and the sound threads into the night until it is part of everything. The sea's sigh, the whale's breath, your own calm inhale and exhale. The whales drift closer, circling slowly around the lullaby. Their movements feel protective, like guardians keeping watch as you sail deeper into rest. You see one rise, its great fin breaking the surface briefly before slipping down again, scattering droplets that shine like falling stars. Another exhales, and the mist glows faintly as it mingles with the lantern light. Their presence is steady, reassuring, endlessly patient. You let your eyes grow heavy, your head resting comfortably against the cushion. The sound of the whale's soft calls, the captain's faint hum, the rocking of the boat, all of it layers together, each part another thread in a woven blanket of peace. You feel wrapped, held, accompanied, never alone. The moon continues to shine, its companions circling it quietly in the sky, and you too are gathered into companionship by the sea, the whales, the stars, and the calm itself. The lullaby drifts further into the calm, and now the moonlight stretches across the water in a wide, unbroken path. It looks less like reflection and more like a bridge, a silver ribbon unfurling ahead, as though inviting you to follow into some hidden, gentle realm. The whales remain near, their bodies moving in quiet arcs beneath the surface, guiding you along this shining road. You lean back, the blanket tucked snugly, and let your eyes rest on the path of light. It shimmers with every small ripple, as though woven from threads of silk. The sight is so steady, so patient, that your own thoughts begin to smooth out, becoming like the water itself, still, soft, flowing without resistance. The captain notices your gaze. This bridge appears only on nights like this, they say, voice low and calm. It carries us from one world into the next. You nod, not because you fully understand, but because the words feel true. Already, the world behind you feels far away, dim and hushed, while the world ahead glows brighter, gentler, as though woven entirely from rest. The seabird lifts its head briefly, glances at the bridge of light, and gives a soft, approving trill before settling back down. Its trust is contagious. You feel yourself sinking even deeper into calm, reassured by its quiet acceptance of the night's mysteries. The whales rise more often now, as if to accompany you closely across this glowing road. One surfaces so near, you can hear the gentle rush of water sliding off its back. Its breath releases in a plume of mist that drifts across the bridge of light, briefly turning it into a glowing archway. You inhale the cool freshness, and your chest feels wider, easier, as though you, too, are part of the sea's breath. The captain pours another cup of tea, this time flavored with chamomile and a faint trace of cinnamon. The warmth seeps into your hands first, then spreads to your chest, filling you with a comfort that seems to echo the glow outside. Each sip feels like a small lantern being lit inside you, steady and kind. The whales begin to sing again, their voices deep and sonorous. Tonight, the song feels different, not playful, not sorrowful, but steady and guiding, like footsteps placed carefully across a long, glowing bridge. The sound carries into the water, into the air, into you, until your very heartbeat feels aligned with the rhythm. You close your eyes for a moment, and the sound carries you. Behind your lids, you see the silver bridge, stretching endlessly ahead, each step soft, each step certain. You are walking it without effort, guided by voices that have known the path far longer than you. When you open your eyes, the stars above seem brighter, crowding the sky more densely, as though they, too, wish to accompany you. Their reflections shimmer on either side of the bridge, forming luminous guardrails of light. You are at the very center of a radiant corridor, safe and steady, sailing forward with calm. The seabird shifts once more, its feathers catching the lantern glow. For a moment, it looks as though the bird itself is glowing, part of the bridge, a guardian perched at its edge. Then it tucks its head once more, content, its soft breathing joining the quiet rhythm of the voyage. The captain hums again, a tune so slow and steady that it feels more like the pulse of the night than a song. It blends with the whale's calls, weaving a harmony that makes the silver bridge shimmer even more brightly. You feel yourself drifting, your body heavy, your mind light, carried by sound as much as by water. The whales circle gently around the lullaby, rising and falling in patterns that feel protective, like companions guiding you across the bridge. Each time they surface, the bioluminescence glows brighter, leaving spirals of light that frame the boat, as though marking your safe passage. The captain's voice comes softly, almost a whisper. The bridge leads only to peace. Let it carry you. And you do, You surrender to the glow, to the song, to the rocking of the boat. You feel yourself crossing slowly, surely, accompanied by whales, lanterns, stars, and the night's endless calm. The lullaby sails on, steady and sure, the silver bridge stretching into infinity, carrying you further into rest, further into light, further into the heart of peace. The silver bridge of moonlight carries you further, until at last, something begins to take shape on the horizon. It appears slowly, as though painted by the night's own hand, the outline of a small island, softened by mist, bathed in a pale glow. Its curves are gentle, its edges blurred, so that it seems less like a piece of land and more like a dream rising out of the water. The captain nods toward it, their voice a calm murmur. The island of quiet dreams. The whales often rest here. The words settle into you like a secret, a gift meant only for those who travel on nights like this. You gaze ahead, feeling the calm deepen even further, as if the very thought of such a place is enough to ease your body into stillness. The whales swim more slowly now, their glowing trails winding lazily beneath the surface. Their calls soften too, lower and longer, like lullabies sung not to guide but to soothe. One surfaces with a gentle exhale, its mist drifting in the moonlight like a veil, before sinking again into the glowing sea. You sense they are leading you, not out of duty, but out of companionship, guiding you toward their place of rest. As the lullaby nears the island, you begin to see more detail. The shore glimmers faintly, lined with smooth sand that seems to hold its own silver light. Beyond the shore, trees rise with slender trunks, their leaves swaying gently, catching the moonlight so that they look as though they've been dusted with starlight. The air changes as well, softer, infused with the faint scent of blossoms carried across the water, something floral and sweet that feels familiar even though you've never been here. The seabird lifts from the railing, wings spreading wide. It circles once above the boat, then glides toward the island, its feathers shining pale against the night sky. It lands on a branch near the shore, waiting calmly, as though it has always belonged there. The captain prepares one last cup of tea, this one the gentlest, yet lavender and honey, with a faint trace of vanilla. The fragrance rises like a lullaby, and when you sip, it feels as though every muscle in your body sighs at once, loosening, yielding, settling into rest. It is not just a drink, but an embrace, as though the island itself has already welcomed you. The lullaby glides softly to the edge of the shore, its hull touching the sand with barely a sound. The lanterns sway gently, their glow mixing with the silver light of the island, until the whole boat seems cradled in radiance. The captain sets the tiller aside and folds their hands, as though their work is complete. Here, you may rest, they say simply. The whales gather just beyond the shallows, their great bodies rising and sinking with slow rhythm. They seem content, their song fading into softer notes that echo around the island like a protective hum. You feel certain they will linger nearby all through the night, keeping watch over this sanctuary. You step onto the sand, and it is softer than you imagined, warm, fine, and welcoming, as though it has been waiting for your footsteps. The island greets you with quiet, not the empty kind, but the full, soothing hush of a place that exists only for peace. The trees whisper gently, their leaves moving with the sea breeze. Somewhere deeper inland, you hear the faint trickle of water, a spring perhaps, flowing endlessly without urgency. You lie down on the sand, the blanket still wrapped around you, and gaze up at the sky. From here, the stars look brighter than ever, scattered across the heavens in endless detail. Their reflections shimmer in the water, so that even as you close your eyes, you feel surrounded by constellations, above, below, and within. The captain's voice drifts softly across the shore. The island of quiet dreams will keep you safe. Let the night carry you deeper. Their words are less instruction and more blessing, a final assurance before silence folds around you. The whales sigh in the distance, their breaths rising like soft fountains, then fading again. The seabird tucks its head beneath its wing in the starlit tree. The lanterns sway gently on the lullaby, casting golden halos on the sand. Everything around you breathes in harmony, slow and even, guiding your own body to do the same. The island feels timeless, a place set apart from the world, meant only for rest. As you settle into the sand, every part of you softens, loosens, surrenders. Your mind becomes quiet, your body heavy, your breath smooth. The night, the sea, the whales, the stars, all of it holds you, guiding you gently toward dreams. The sand beneath you is warm, as though it remembers the day's sun, even in the quiet of night. You lie still, wrapped in your blanket, listening to the tender sounds of the island. The hush of the waves against the shore comes in a rhythm so steady, it feels like the earth itself is breathing. Each swell gathers softly, then releases in a sigh, leaving a trail of foam that glimmers faintly in the moonlight before fading back into the sea. The whales linger just beyond the shallows, their silhouettes rising and falling in the silver glow. Occasionally, one exhales, sending a gentle plume of mist into the night. The sound carries like a great, slow whisper, an echo of the sea's own voice, softened and stretched across the water. Their presence is a comfort, vast, yet tender, steady as the stars above. The captain sits nearby on a smooth piece of driftwood, hands folded, eyes watching the horizon. They do not speak often now, but when they do, their voice is low and calm. This is where journeys turn into dreams, they murmur. The words drift into you like a tide, reaching deep without effort. You let them settle, feeling no need to respond. The seabird perches in its tree along the shoreline, feathers puffed against the cool air. From time to time, it shifts, giving a soft trill before tucking its head again. Even its small sounds feel like part of the lullaby that surrounds you. The whales, the waves, the night breeze, and the gentle creak of the lullaby resting at anchor. You close your eyes, and the soundscape deepens. The waves become a chorus, each one a long, slow note. The whales add their voices, humming beneath the surface in tones that vibrate through the sand itself. The trees whisper faintly as their leaves brush together. Even the lanterns on the boat sway, their glass clinking gently, adding a soft, chiming rhythm. Together they form a layered lullaby, a harmony that holds you at its center. The captain offers one last cup of tea, brewed from herbs gathered on the island itself, lemon balm, a touch of chamomile, and the faint sweetness of wildflowers. The fragrance drifts across the shore, calming even before you taste it. When you sip, the flavor is light and soothing, like drinking the air of the island itself. It spreads warmth through your chest, then settles into a gentle weight, grounding you to the sand. As you listen, you begin to notice how the waves echo themselves. Each one seems to carry the memory of the last, as though the sea is replaying its own song over and over. The echoes overlap, layering sound upon sound until the whole shoreline hums with quiet repetition. It is not monotony, but comfort, the reassurance that the world can be steady, predictable, endlessly kind. You open your eyes again, and the stars above seem brighter, framed by the dark leaves of the trees. Their reflections shimmer on the wet sand each time a wave recedes, as though the stars themselves are bowing down to touch the island. For a moment, it feels as though the entire cosmos has gathered here, simply to keep you company. The whales grow quieter, their breaths further apart now, deeper, slower. They, too, are resting, their songs stretching into longer, softer tones. The seabird has tucked itself fully, its body rising and falling with sleep. The captain leans back, closing their eyes, humming faintly under their breath. Everyone, everything, has surrendered to the lull of the island. You draw the blanket closer, the fabric holding your warmth, and let the sand support you. Each inhale feels fuller, each exhale softer. You notice your thoughts drifting like the waves, gathering briefly, then dissolving, then gathering again, always in the same soothing rhythm. The captain's voice reaches you one last time, no louder than the wind. Let the echoes carry you. The island remembers peace for you. And then there is only the sound of the sea, steady, endless, and kind. The shoreline holds you in its embrace. The whales watch over you, and the night itself sings you deeper into rest. The night grows softer still, as if the whole world is settling into slumber. The shoreline breathes with the steady rhythm of waves, the sand beneath you warm and yielding, the blanket cocooning you in quiet comfort. Everything is hushed now, gentle, rounded, patient, as though the island itself is reminding you that there is nothing left to do but rest. The whales drift closer to the shallows, their vast forms visible beneath the silver glow of the moonlit water. They move in wide arcs, circling slowly, their trails of faint bioluminescence shimmering like glowing rings on the surface. The circles overlap, widening and fading, until the sea itself seems to draw a great, glowing halo around you. The captain speaks softly, barely more than a breath. They form the circle of rest. It is their way of guarding the night. You watch the luminous patterns spreading outward, rippling into one another, and you feel a deep, calm settle inside. The circles seem to say, "You are safe within us. You are cradled. You are held." The seabird shifts in its tree, fluffing its feathers once, then tucking itself back down. Even in its tiny body, you see the same rhythm, rest, rising and falling, sleep folding gently in. The bird trusts the circle, trusts the night, and so do you. The captain places a final lantern on the sand near your side. Its flame is small, steady, glowing gold against the silver of the moon. The mist catches its light, forming a faint halo in the air. Now there are circles above and below, on the water and in the sky, around the whales and around you. Every layer repeats the same message: rest, rest, rest. The whales begin to sing again, their voices deeper than ever, drawn out and hushed. The tones vibrate into the sand, into your body, into the very air around you. Each note lingers long after it fades, like ripples on the sea, carrying you further into stillness. Their song is not to guide or call, it is simply to cradle, to wrap the night in sound so vast that you cannot help but feel small in the gentlest way. You sip the last of the tea, cool now, but no less soothing. Its flavor is faint, like the memory of flowers, a reminder that you have been cared for all through this voyage. You place the cup aside, fold the blanket more snugly, and let the final weight of wakefulness drift away. Above, the stars gather more closely, shimmering brighter in clusters. They seem to mirror the whale's circles below, forming their own patterns of rest. The sea reflects them faithfully until you are surrounded on every side by halos of light, endless and layered, like concentric ripples reaching toward infinity. The captain closes their eyes, humming the same slow tune as always, their voice blending with the whale's. The sound is low, circular, unbroken, without beginning, without end. It feels like you have been wrapped in the oldest song in the world, a song sung by the sea itself. Your breath falls into its rhythm, slow, steady, circular. Inhale, exhale, rise, fall. Each breath becomes lighter, quieter, until it is almost indistinguishable from the sigh of the waves. You are part of the circle now, part of the sea's lullaby, part of the rest that covers the island. The whale's glowing rings spread wider, then slowly fade, leaving only the calm sea and the soft moonlight. But their presence remains, vast and certain, like a watchful heart beating just beyond the horizon. The captain whispers one last time, "Sleep within the circle. The night will hold you." You let your eyes close fully, your body heavy and warm, your mind dissolving into the rhythm of the waves. The circle of rest surrounds you, and within it, you drift deeper, carried into the quietest part of the night. The night has folded itself completely around you now, soft as velvet, vast as the sea. You lie on the warm sand of the island of quiet dreams, the blanket snug around you, the lantern's golden glow flickering nearby. The world has slowed into silence, each sound stretched into the gentlest rhythm waves, sighing against the shore, whales breathing beyond the shallows, the captain's low hum blending with the night itself. Above, the moon leans toward its descent, pouring its silver glow across the water one last time before morning. The bridge of light it has laid across the sea still shines, but softer now, a fading thread that promises return. The stars seem to gather closer, clustering in gentle constellations, watching with patience as your body yields to rest. The whales linger in the shallows, circling slowly, their song reduced to the faintest vibrations felt more than heard. Each note is like a hand, smoothing the last wrinkles from your thoughts, erasing the lines of wakefulness. Their massive shapes rise and sink, glowing faintly in the water, guardians of the night's deepest calm. The seabird, nestled in its tree, is utterly still now, its breathing small and steady, a reminder of the simple peace of sleep. The captain has grown quiet too, their hands resting loosely, their eyes half closed. Only the lantern flame moves, swaying faintly in the breeze, a single heartbeat of golden light. You feel your own breath sinking with the world, the inhale like a wave gathering, the exhale like a wave dissolving. With each breath, you sink further, as though the sand beneath you has become a gentle bed, holding you, shaping itself to every curve of your body, ensuring you need no effort at all. The island whispers with its trees, their leaves brushing together like soft lullabies. Far within, a spring murmurs faintly, its water trickling in a rhythm as steady as the tide. Every sound is hushed, every voice of the island soothing you, coaxing you deeper into surrender. The lantern flickers and you close your eyes. Behind your lids, The glow of the sea and stars lingers, shimmering softly until even those lights begin to dissolve. All that remains is the circle of calm that surrounds you, the whale's song, the captain's hum, the seabird's trust, the island's embrace. The captain's voice comes one final time, no more than a breath, almost part of the wind itself. Rest deeply, dream sweetly. The sea will keep you, the whales will watch you, the night will carry you. The words settle over you like a second blanket, heavy with safety, warm with promise. Your body loosens completely. Your thoughts dissolve into quiet streams. Your heart slows to the rhythm of the waves. The whales breathe one last time, their exhale a great, soft sigh that drifts into the night like a blessing. The sea answers with its own hush. The lantern dims in your awareness. The stars blur into one great field of light, and you, wrapped in warmth, held by the island, carried by the ocean's lullaby, drift into the deepest dream, safe, unburdened, and at rest.